Well, guess what, Graham? I don't know if you know, we got a new Secretary of State. And breaking, the U.S. Secretary of State Blinken says that Iran could now be weeks away from having material to build a nuclear bomb. Hey, Iran's been weeks away from having material to build a bomb since 1979. Here we go. There it is. NBC Universal. Blinken says Iran possibly closer to enough material for nuclear bomb. That's not harmful to their viewers, though, Graham, right? To print straight up propaganda like that. That's not. Come on. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, not Anthony, Anthony, repeated warnings that Iran could be on course to get enough fissile material to build a nuclear weapon within months. Scared, be afraid that Iran's going to launch a nuclear weapon. Adding that if Iran continues to lift restraints from the nuclear deal, it could be a matter of weeks. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said, we are going to have to address Iran's other bad behavior. What about our bad behavior? I don't know if you look at the country right next to them, what we did to it, and then the country right next to that, and then the country just north of that, and then the country to the east of that. Do you see what the fuck we're doing? Bad behavior by Iran? Who has Iran invaded? Nobody. Who else has Iran bombed? Nobody. How many nuclear weapons does Iran have? 0. How many do we have? 5,000. We are going to have to address Iran's other bad behavior, malign behavior across the region. But from our perspective, a critical early priority has to be to deal with what is an escalating nuclear crisis as they move closer and closer to having enough fissile material for a weapon. When are we going to address? Hey, by the way, here you go. Countries attacked by bombing, sabotage, and attempted government overthrow since World War II. Iran, 0. This is all the ones the United States have done. So when are we going to address our bad behavior? This is the textbook, do as I say, not as I do. That's what this is. And you want to know how long they've been saying that Iran is close to getting a nuclear weapon? Do you want to see? Well, here's Colin Powell saying it in 2004. 2004, 16 years ago, almost 2 decades they've been saying this shit. The United States has intelligence that Iran is working to adapt missiles to deliver a nuclear weapon. Further evidence that the Islamic Republic is determined to acquire a nuclear bomb, Secretary of State Colin Powell said on Wednesday, right after he got done turning Iraq into a hellfirescape. After Colin Powell lied us into an illegal war that killed millions of people. Children, old people. New report says that Iran can have a nuclear bomb in a month. That's from 2013. A study by Washington-based Institute for Science and International Security claims new and advanced centrifuges have reduced possible breakout time frame. Here's one from 2012. Iran on the brink of nuclear bomb in 6 to 7 months, says Benjamin Netanyahu. Is this amazing? They might be able to get the new centrifuges. They might be able to get the centrifuges. And with Amazon Prime, you think they would have gotten it already. As soon as Iran finds the keys to that centrifuge, it's going to be bam, bam, bam. And by the way, Colin Powell's never led us astray before. Ever. When has Colin Powell ever led us astray? I'm serious. U.S. Secretary of State, Iran weeks away from having material to build a nuclear bomb. It's like one of those fanatical cults that keeps predicting the end of the world, but they're wrong every single time. It's like the United States is the boy who cried wolf, except we're the boy and we're the wolf. Right? Isn't that? I've been thinking about this a long time, and I think our media might not be the best when it comes to foreign policy. I know, crazy. I'm not going to make a lot of friends at parties saying this, but I don't think you can rely on U.S. media. By the way, nuclear weapons, United States, 5,550. Iran, still zero. Still zero, Graham.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, look, Iran has committed a lot of crimes, man. Let's be real clear here. They poisoned the water in Flint, Michigan. They shot water protectors at Standing Rock. They gave the banks over, $1 trillion and let the banks, steal 6 million homes, mine being one of them. So, Iran has a lot to answer for. It was the Iran Police Department that kills unarmed black men. It's just preposterous. You can find video footage from 2007 of Senator Hillary Clinton saying, whoa, we got to get Iran. So they've been ramping up war with Iran. I mean, the last year or so of Trump's presidency, year and a half, 2 years, all this stuff on the false flag highway of the Strait of Hormuz, all this stuff. And let's not forget. So when the pandemic hit, we kept our sanctions on Iran. We actually made their COVID situation worse, which isn't like tough military strategy. That's not good for the whole world. So even like the so-called evil empires of, China and Russia are giving their vaccines out to whoever they can. We're sanctioning a country that's making COVID worse. We've kept the sanctions going in Venezuela and Iran. And now it's just like, oh, they're going to have a nuke. They're going to have a nuke. North Korea, like there's always some boogeyman lurking around the corner. As I said in a previous thing, they got to keep us divided, distracted, and afraid. And I said this on my show. I know you said this on your show. When Biden the minute Biden was declared winner, I go, he's going to be at war with Iran within his first year. Done. I mean, there's no two ways about it. He's got all these Clinton and Obama people in his cabinet, and of course, what does the mainstream media do, including like Democracy Now? Oh, first black man, Secretary of Defense. Oh, they forgot to mention he's on Raytheon's board of directors. Like, it's just unbelievable. Biden's whole cabinet.
They had to get a special clearance for him because it broke a rule about him working for Raytheon and then coming in to be the secretary. They had to get a special. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, special clearance. But they always can make a special clearance.
Yes,
it's not like,
that's
hey,
right.
Dude, you're not qualified. It's like, we'll write a special flim-flam kangaroo law that says you can bomb and make money and claim to be for America at the same time. It's great. So it's just preposterous. And, as you've talked about on your show and the live shows we've done together, we show that Anthony Bourdain clip where he talks about the Persian people are nice and kind. And these are people we're talking about. These are people. And Iran hasn't done 1/100th of the evil shit, if you just demonstrated, that the United States empire has done. And it's just the constant war machine. And we can't get $2,000 checks, but boy, we always got money for war, and now it's got to be Iran.
That's the thing about, that was what, for me, I was such a big Sam Harris fan, right? Because I loved what stuff he said about religion. He was always right on, and he was even funny. And then when he stuck his toe into foreign policy, it's like, you're just as horrible as Dick Cheney. You think Muslim bad and the United States good, even though we've caused way more destruction ever. There's not even close to destruction we've caused in the world. Not even close to destruction under the name of Christianity. It's just, so that's the thing that drives me nuts, is somehow they're bad, even though we're the ones setting the entire world on fire right now. How many military bases does Russia and China have around the world? 3? You know how many the United States has? 1,000. We have a literal city in Germany still. I was in it. Have you ever been in that city in Germany where they have It's just one huge United States military base with thousands and thousands of people in the middle of another country.
I mean, we have bases surrounding Iran. We have bases surrounding China and Russia on 3 of their 4 borders. I mean, imagine if Iran or Russia or China had bases all throughout Mexico, in the Caribbean,
right,
all throughout Canada, Hawaii. Imagine that. Imagine we would be like, oh God, we'd be terrified, and rightfully so. And we do this all over the world. And how delusional is it that this America's the good guy? No, we're not. Iran has committed the egregious crime of not giving up their oil to us. And that's what this is all about. That's what it's all about.
And by the way, they put the first thing Joe Biden did too was get some money going to Venezuela to overthrow Venezuela. Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia. I wonder why we're really concerned about bringing democracy to their people. And so this idea that we got rid of Trump and now the good guys are here. No, we got rid of the guy who couldn't hide that he was corrupt, and we got a bunch of guys who the media will help hide that they're corrupt, warmongering murderers. That's what you got. Congratulations. Yeah,
and who also, but people go, yeah, but the neo-Nazis. Well, Biden worked with neo-Nazis in the Ukraine.
That's right.
There's clear evidence of that. They worked with a neo-Nazi organization. There's American, there's Biden there. So explain to me how, like you said, like Trump was just the most vulgar version of what presidents have been doing for decades.
Yes.
Oh, he
was just outwardly vulgar. He wasn't actually, he wasn't as big a warmonger as Joe Biden and Barack Obama by far. By far. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.